This is the first 16 miles of the race, and I realize actually the first 25 miles of the race, but I realize you can't see it very well. But we start the race where? Spring Lake, and we don't do what? All right.
Ever get on it at all until they tell you.
All right, so this is the beginning. This is Spring Lake. Actually, part of that is the creek coming into Spring Lake. This is what it looks like from the railing where the old swimming pool used to be, except for the submarine theater is no longer there, which is a sad thing for nostalgia, but a good thing for the environment. This is Meadow Center, Ocarina Springs, if you're old. This is where it all starts. This is looking down from the old hotel, which now contains all their offices and stuff. This is San Marcos City Park. It's about, half mile, maybe or so down. There'll be a bunch of people there. It's where generally you go practice, you know, if you're starting to do the upper river. And I think...
You have to pay to park now, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. San Marcos now charges, you have to pay to park unless you're a San Marcos resident and you've registered your license plate. Because ain't nobody rides for free anymore. So Rio Vista from the air, you can see there's 3 chutes going down through there. There's portage on the left, portage on the right is really difficult, or you can, if you're really cool, you can run the chute all the way through and, you know, keep your boat dry and don't go swimming. But the cool thing is if you do go swimming, the videos are killer.
That's where we have the most fun on social media.
The photographers pretty much just camp out there because there's so many people doing so many things that are so hysterical. This is the far left portage. I have no idea what Peyton is telling her, but it must have been funny because they had time to just chat and laugh along the way.
There's Jill.
There's Jill. She's at the foot end there, Cheatham Street. If you've portaged on the left, you will be completely out of wind at that point. Kate's Dam. There's so many things that I can say about Kate's Dam, but I will suffice it to say it is a portage. There are a series of buoys there they don't want you to climb on the dam. It's a dangerous place. I mean, there was a drowning there last year. There's all kinds of old railroad steel and you know, random fence material and all these things they've done. It's an old dam at its very base, but it's been built on a bunch of times and it will chew your legs up, man. So there's a portage trail just down from those buoys. You can get out, hop over right there. You can go about 20 yards more, and there's a nicer trail through the trees. But just be aware. That's where I talked about if you keep on the left and you get to the road bridge, and you could probably, well, I don't think we can pass through there right now, but if you made it to the road bridge and you can't go under there, you have to go back to the main river channel and go under the road there. This is a new obstacle that we put into the river because it was getting too easy. This is the water hyacinth growth above Cummins Dam. It is the worst I have seen it in the 40 odd years I've been going up and down this river. There's a half a dozen people who posted pictures of it online and it hasn't gotten any better. I would suggest you make a plan if it's still there. Here's hoping that we get one more freeze, or that, you know, one of the Rube Goldberg ideas about getting rid of it works out, or that the boards break out of the dam and it flushes everything through, or whatever. But make a plan. There's nothing more resistance training based than paddling through water hyacinth. I would find a portage is kind of what I would do, but that's just me.
Can you hit the bank and port?
No. There's nothing
If
to
you walk in the water.
What's that?
Unless you're Jesus, I'm not sure.
If you walk in the water, we're nowhere shallow enough on the bank.
It's too deep.
I mean,
It's all cut back.
it's all cut back.
But that's gotta be shallow stuff.
No.
Feel free to try it. Don't take my word for it. But, Holly?
A lot of times that's near the end too, like in the last 200 miles, like when you're about 50 miles left, you'll see the same thing where the river's completely blocked.
Yeah, especially in the stretch from, basically, we'll get down to it from Wooden Bridge to, or actually the stretch from Trailer Cut down to the finish, but that's at the other end of the course. So, but good point. I mean, and there's nothing like not knowing it's there, and you get there at about 40 odd hours. This is one of the, looking upstream at Cummins Dam, all that stuff is piled up on this dam, or close to it, because it's slack water. This is a couple of examples of big boats portaging over the buttresses, or on the left, my left, over that height. I don't think, it's just a picture where they're going to slide it down the buttress. Paddling away, very happy. This is coming into Cottonseed. Cottonseed has changed so much through the years. It used to really be quite the obstacle. Now, basically, it's a hard right turn. Well, I don't know. It's shallow enough to where you've got to make a little bit of effort to get through it. But I would also say that this is one of those places you talk about, if you get in trouble, step out, you can probably save yourself like that. Make a plan. Don't just show up on race day thinking, I'm going to get this, man. And because bad things will happen to you. You can take out right before you get there on River Right, kind of go walk over the old dam and go take a look at it and scout it out and find your way through. But that's about all. Anybody else got anything new on it that they would want to add?
There will be photographers, please smile, but not if you're gonna run into a rock. Okay, yeah.
Well, you can still smile if you're going to run into a rock. That's what I'm going to give you. Cottonseed has, the Perkins family very generously opens it up for us to go in and to watch the race, but it's only accessible on race day. It's not a practice location. You know, you need to go on down to, probably 1979 Bridge, either Spencer's Place or Martindale City Park. But don't use, don't plan to park there and take out. It's private property except race day. There are lots of spectators there. That's probably after Rio Vista, the biggest spectator point. Got a little bit of everybody going on here. You got the guys bailing out up top. You got the guy making.
I thought you'd like that picture. It's low water.
It's low water, a little bit. And it was funny because we called Patty the other day, or Christian. It's like, do you have some pictures of the river when it's low? Because everything we had was, not necessarily. Martindale Dam from the air, there is really, I would only tell you to pull up to the apron of the dam on River Right. There's some steps there, work your way out. Then you decide if you're going to take the long way around and put in where it's just a real smooth put in, or put in at the bottom of the apron. But you need to portage that on River Right. I mean, there's some esoteric ways to do it, but. What?
Question there.
Yes.
Portage, Cummings Dam on the left on race day.
You can. Just make sure that you're just staying on the trail. Don't, the Cummins are not enamored with us using that portage, but it is strictly speaking legal. Martindale Low Water Bridge, which is just past the dam. I mean, like you can, well, I can't throw a rock that far anymore, but it's pretty close. You can see it coming in. At the bottom of the dam, or of that drop, on the other side of the bridge are a series of rocks that you might want to avoid. Ideally, you would stay to the right of them and just work your way through. They make an earth-shattering kaboom as on aluminum boats here, as Marvin the Martian would say. Staples Bridge, this is our first checkpoint. There's a whole lot of safari knowledge in that picture, with two of them and one that just thinks he knows a lot. This is coming down Staples on River Left, which hence the portage, is what it says there. And the checkpoint is actually on the right bank, and there's a set of stairs that goes down there, which is not as user-friendly as you might think, because they're very steep stairs, and you know, don't send your partner for a tumble just trying to get down them in a hurry, or you can slide it down River Left. Just make sure that you're, and you can see over to the right from here, this is River Left. Just make sure that your team captain knows to go sign you through on River Right. And that cut off. I don't need to go backwards.
Worst case, I think you only miss the cutoff time of 2 p.m. Is that slide, so.
All right, don't do anything else. We'll just go from there.
There we go.
All right, this is the first cutoff, 2 o'clock on Friday. Man, trying to undo a lifetime of one day. It's 2 o'clock Friday. Take a breath, get a sandwich, whatever you need to do. Make your portage. The next 9 miles is the beginning of the hard part, in my opinion. It's pretty twisty. If you ever graph out the finish times of the race, you'll see that this stretch from Staples to Luling 90 is the only stretch that actually breaks the entire curve, because it makes it much easier when there's water. Otherwise, all the data points flow up and down. I am the technical difficulty. Pinterest is a popular handoff spot. We mentioned earlier private property, and etc. Amigos Beach is River Left, just past the bridge. If you're a TCKRA member, you have got a parking pass for a day use only. It's not like you can go camp, or you can run your business or what have you out of there, but you can park there and go do your handoff. I mean, I will tell you that you can, meet on River Right, but you have to park about a half mile up from the bridge, and I think it's about the same distance on the other side. Amigos Beach is probably the easiest way to do that. And even if you get there during the middle of the race, it could be crowded enough where you're still going to have to park away from it. So please, for your own safety, observe all the parking regulations. So we're down to Pinterest. Now we're going to go down to Prairie Lead, more of the same, except for, and this is something that has improved greatly since we moved the race to Friday. There are tubing outfitters that work in that area, and you don't want to be the person who takes out a 5-year-old who's too dumb to get out of your way or too unsupervised to get out of your way. So just remember, yes, you probably have the right of way. Everybody has a right to be there. But remember, you're the guy in the truck, and you should be able to control your boat well enough not to take out a kid. And we'll just leave it at that. You need to be, don't make it bad for everybody by being the one who's losing their cool with the tuber, because ain't nobody ever won the race because of how long it took them to get to Prairie League 1. Yes, you could lose the race for how long it takes you, but it's not that critical. Stairtown used to be a really good handoff spot downstream River Left. However, it has new owners, and that has been gated off, and unless you have permission from that landowner, you may find this in old copies of the driving guide, you may find this in old, what do they call it, archived things, but remember this, if it's gated off or what have you, and you don't have permission, please don't go there. This is one of those spots. Luling Gravel Bar, Luling 90. The city of Luling has worked out a deal with this where we have the entire park for that Friday. So, which is great. Holly worked on that and got it done. And the parking would get so bad that it's like it was like the Roach Motel. You could get in but you couldn't get out. Nobody here remembers that commercial. Hotel California, y'all remember that? You can check in anytime you like. Okay. But we have the entire park reserved. There will probably be signs directing you where to park. There will be, especially, team captains, make sure you have that placard displayed in your window. Oh man.
I know, I'm sorry, I had to use it. It was just, I wanted to show how it gets real gummed up in there in low water, and how you can have multiple boats going through and everybody standing in the water.
Yeah, I mean,
And it was
that's
an
how
homage.
shallow it is there. So those two guys both have more than 30 finishes of this race. The guy in back passed away a couple of years ago. The John DuPont Scholarship Fund is named for him. I'll go on with losing my shit. The cutoff is 8 p.m. Friday. This is probably the big gotcha, if you would, checkpoint, because that's just the one where it's getting hard. It's been hot all day. The river's low, and where it is right now. And that's where we probably lose the most folks to the cutoff.
What's the mileage?
The mileage? 38 round figure. Is that round enough? Everybody backs nodding yes. It's like how long is the race, right? 260 miles. Jonathan writes 262. My GPS track from 2017 says 265, so who knows? I mean, I probably zigzagged that boat down the river too many times or something. But so take all these mileages with a grain of salt when we spit them out. Same thing with the course description online. Whoever wrote it's got 6.47 in places. Like, who the heck knows? The USGS doesn't know, I guarantee you that, and they drew the maps. Let's see. Now we're going from Luling 90 down to Palmetto State Park.
Via Zedler.
What's that?
Via Zedler.
Yeah, via Zedler Dam. So Next big portage, kind of the third to the last one, as a matter of fact, as far as permanent structures, is Zettler Dam. It is about 6 miles down from Luling 90. The last 3 miles before you get there is some dead water. It will feel like you are not moving, and if you stop paddling, you won't be. It's not gonna carry you and float you down the river at that point. Portage is on river right. You can slide the boat down the buttress. You can carry it around the trail. And I think that pretty much is all your options. That was a pretty good picture of it. And that's another one of those places to smile for the camera, because there's always a photographer right there as you make that cut back to the river after you've fought a valiant fight against that eddy that wants to sweep you all the way back to the dam. Looks like they're having a valiant fight keeping the boat upright at that point. Man, why did like double click? All right, Little Altine, Son of Altine, the rock slide. It has multiple names. I can't remember how far it is down. Any of y'all off the top of your head? 6 miles from I-10. Good enough.
I was thinking about Palmetto State Park.
Okay, 6 miles above Palmetto State Park. It used to be 50, 50, 40. So yeah. I don't think, we don't have a picture of it. Nobody ever stopped to take a picture. You used to be able to run it through the center all the time. Then you could run it left of center. Then you could run it all the way on the left, and one of the floods started moving the rocks around. So, you know, you go the place you learned to go in 1984 and you hit something. Or so I've heard. And so it's generally been a portage. It will be a portage at this water level. I mean, you can try it, but it will make an awful shrieking sound on the bottom of aluminum, much like fingernails on a chalkboard. And nobody wants to hear that. Let's see what happens. Good. Palmetto State Park. The cutoff is at 6 a.m. on Saturday. The checkpoint is at the low water bridge. We've got a series of pictures after this slide. But what I want you to know is that, in my opinion, this is the most dangerous permanent structure on the San Marcos River. Especially in water levels like we have now, where it looks like it's no big deal to stand up in front of it. You need to pay attention to what you're doing. I mean, it's probably flushed out enough right now, and you can see in some of these pictures that there it is from Google Earth. High and dry right now, looks like no big deal. Curry, you'd think after freaking 30 years he would know that I'm in the middle of doing the seminar instead of saying, "Hey Jay, what are you doing?"
That's why
what a turd. I did it again.
the direction.
All right. So you're up on top of it. If there are boats coming over and there's spectators, and I would apply this to just about all of the crowded spots. Rio Vista, let the boats have the right of way. Because another two is, if you have small children with you, I would suggest that you have them wear a PFD the whole time. You know, my daughter, bless her heart, was on the swim team and all those things, and she could swim upstream from our house to the Goins Rapid. And does anybody call it that anymore? All right. Could swim all the way up, and yet we made her wear a PFD the whole time, and it's like, because kids are fearless, right? And so eventually it happened. She was standing on this bridge, and her little butt fell in, and I'm in the race, Kristen's somewhere to do a handoff, and my mom and dad don't swim, who are watching her. But she had her PFD on, so somebody went around the corner and grabbed her butt out, and, you know, everybody lived to tell the tale. But it's, you know, it's a big swoopy mess through there, so watch the children. This is coming under the bridge at this basic water level on River Left. This is Jason Kay, that's one-time winner of the Safari and several-time tandem winner. This is coming under the right. This is Caitlin Miner, who was in the winning boat last year, one of 3 ladies who ever won the whole race. So right now you can get under it. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. Same thing. This is, you know, they're sliding the boat under. You can see the water level is much closer, but there's room. My point is, have a plan, because this is going over the middle. Because it can turn to this in a hurry. And when that water is going through those little areas, what's that?
Those little cutouts.
Yeah, little cutout. I mean, you have the little block things that, you know, you can, at certain water levels you can paddle through, but you can also come flying in and hit one of those blocks and bounce your boat about 4 feet backwards in no time. Or you could swim there in front of it and your boat goes underneath it, and maybe you do too, and hopefully there's no crap hung up underneath it that would grab you. I mean, that's happened more during training runs, because generally during the race, if it's at that point, we will have you get out upstream and walk the boat down on River Right. So, as Mr. Rogers always said, always look for the helpers. Look for the race officials as you come into Palmetto, especially if the water has come up, because there may be someone giving you directions, and it gets really confusing because you're pretty tired, and there's people cheering, and there's race officials giving you direction. So it's always best to actually have a plan, so that it's not just your first time coming in there and you're just like, what the heck is going on here? Yes, ma'am.
So while we're at Palmetto State Park, the team captains, as they're headed that way to help out their canoe team, do we need to stop at the park's office and check in on that day?
I'm glad you asked that.
Great.
Because I should have said something earlier. If you have a team captain placard, that is your pass.
Okay.
Once again, the Water Safari, for that day, we rent out the entire park. And at check-in, they also, for everyone else, besides the team captains, they sell day passes so that they can get in and out. Sometimes it's crowded enough to where the park rangers don't let anybody but team captains go back to what we call the rectory, or I think that's what they call it, the rectory. Something like that. Anyway, the rock building back there where it's a kind of a pavilion, to kind of control that traffic, because parking is pretty limited. However, since we've rented the entire park, that means that all those RV spots that are back around there are available to park as well.
And it's very steep. I don't have a good picture of this, but it's very steep from both of those coming down the hill and narrow. So if you have your wagon and your kids and your dog and 3 chairs, it's a heck of a hike up and back, and you may be in the dark. Have a headlamp, because it's dark there trying to get down to the bridge. So.
But at least it's paved nowadays.
Yes.
It used to be a muddy gully. Any other questions to this point? We're about halfway through the San Marcos River. Good job, Tim. All right. So this is the last stretch. This is actually the stretch when you start hearing people talk about log jams and stuff on the San Marcos River. It's about 7.5 miles to Slayden Cemetary Bridge. I took the picture out because the old cool bridge is no longer there. It was like one of the last iron truss bridges, and the county, in their infinite wisdom, we actually dedicated a race to it one year.